Mahalo, and welcome to episode 2 of Mahalo, the podcast. I'm your host, Mark Jigarjian, coming to you live from New York City, right in the heart of the madness here in Manhattan. Happy to be with you. Got a couple of observations I'd like to drop on you on this episode. Hopefully you don't tune out. Hopefully they're not too controversial and you tune out. I'm going to start right off with some heat. Some heat on dogs. Here's where I stand on dogs. Do I like dogs? Yes, I like dogs as for what they are, as a home pet. I think they're a great home pet. Here's where I think people with dogs, dog owners go over the edge. In my opinion, there should be no dogs in restaurants. I had a very rough experience this week with a dog in a restaurant. People think that they can just bring their dogs out with them dining because I have this mentality of like everyone's going to love my dog, or my dog doesn't smell, or my dog isn't going to lick anyone, or my dog isn't going to freak out when it sees a bird. But there's no way to really control these animals. I went into a taco restaurant to go get a burrito. I'm sitting there waiting for my food to come out, and what happens? A guy comes in waiting for takeout, and he brings in this huge dog. It was a hippopotamus of an animal. Comes in, it's shaking, and there's hairs flying everywhere in the restaurant. It's licking things. It looks at me, makes eye contact with me. I just got my burrito, and this big dog is looking at me. But the owner just thinks everyone's going to love my dog. My dog can go anywhere. That's what people think. My dog should be able to go anywhere if I'm going to go to a restaurant. That's the mentality that drives me nuts. Not everyone's going to love your dog. Not everyone loves dogs. Has anyone even thought about that? Some people are scared of dogs. Some people are allergic. I think you can be allergic to a dog. You can definitely be allergic to a cat. So when a dog owner brings in their animal to a place where people are eating, they're telling you, I don't care about you. I don't care about you and your dining experience. I care about me. I care about me. I want everyone to see my dog. Because everyone's going to love it. That's the mentality. Everyone's going to love my dog. And I think it's an attention thing. I think people think, I'm going to bring my dog with me and people are going to come up and pet it. Can I pet your dog? Yeah, you can pet it. Can I pet your dog? Yeah, go ahead. Touch its head, but not under the chin. Don't you hate when dog owners give you instructions on how to pet a dog? Listen, there's two things I can do here. I'm not going to do a full-blown belly rub. Yeah, you can pet it. Just make sure, just behind the ears if you're going to do a gentle tickle. Is it okay if I pet your dog? Even if I had a dog, I'd say, don't even come near it. Don't come near my dog. Don't be touching your hands on my dog. Stay away. But that's not what a restaurant dog person does. They bring them to the restaurant. They think everyone's going to want to pet it. Ooh, maybe the server is going to love it. They don't think about others in the restaurant like me. I'm a dog lover at home, a home environment, when I know one's approaching. If I have one personally, or if I go over to a friend's house, I know they have a dog, I can gear up for that experience. Maybe I won't wear pants that could be soiled, because that dogs are their known pant soilers. They got their paws up there, they'll leech right on your pants, and you can tell they right around the knee area, they just soil pants. So if I go over to a friend's house who has a dog, you can wear old pants. But at a restaurant, especially in New York City, they're thinking, oh, no, even if it says no dogs allowed inside, it doesn't mean anything to them. Not my dog. People are going to love my dog. Or if you're dining al fresco, as they say in Italy, that's just open season, just freedom, might as well bring my dog to dine outside. And that's a slippery slope. First of all, if you're going to bring your dog to dine outside and you're going to go meet a friend for lunch, tell them you're going to bring your dog. I shouldn't be walking into a luncheon and then have to know that you're going to bring your friggin' hippopotamus animal that I have to deal with the entire time. and they're more needy than a person. They need separate bowls, and they need water dishes. What happens if they got to take a crap in the middle of the thing? Where you gonna go walk it and take it out somewhere? What happens if a bird lands? Or has anyone ever thought, what happens if other people have dogs there too? What happens if everyone thought like you and brought their dog? Now you're eating at the zoo. You just got a lunch date to eat at a pet store. And no one wants to do that. Could you even imagine if someone said, we'll give you a free lunch, but you have to eat it at a pet store? I would say absolutely not. Absolutely, because they stink. A pet store stinks. It smells like a bird cage. They should just call pet stores the bird cage, because that's what it smells like. Iguanas. It's just a whole animal kingdom shitting in one room. That's really what a pet store is. You got hamsters, iguanas, fish, dogs, cats, lizards, rabbits, all taking a dump in one room. And that's what it smells like. And you can't disguise it. You can't Febreze that out. Believe you me, there's no pet store Febreze that's powerful enough to take that out. So don't be bringing your dog to dine al fresco. And if you do, I think that they should do a quota. You should have a quota for how many dogs could be allowed outside. The restaurant should say, we have a 2-dog cap on our outdoor dining area. You can cap people now these days. You can say, oh, we can only be at 33% occupancy for people, but it's just open season for dogs. What if it's 33% people indoor dining, but all those 33% bring their dog? What I'm saying is there should be limitations. If you got an outdoor dining space, like a smoking area, there should be a place that you can bring your dog. And guess what? Not going to be a very popular place to sit. I'll tell you that. No one wants to dine around dogs. No one wants to dine around other people's dogs. You can dine with your dog because you do it all the time. You dine around your dog all the time. Maybe even give it a little food off the table. But other people's dogs, gross. Other people's dogs are always gross. I've never seen another person's dog in a dining environment that I'm like, I'm actually happy that there's an animal here. This is actually better than not having an animal at the table. Dogs and food don't go together for me. It just doesn't go together. I cannot enjoy a meal if a dog is licking my leg, shaking, does a shake, and then the hairs fly in the air. You know what happens. Or bark. Or what happens if you have all the dogs outside and all the dogs don't like each other? Then they start barking at each other. Are you going to go home now? Who has to go home? What if you have 2 dogs in a fight and you're mid-salad at an outdoor dining al fresco situation? Who leaves? You just got your salad. Your dog is fighting with another dog at the restaurant. What do? Someone has to leave. And then what if you're the friend who just met the person for lunch? And you're having a chicken parm hero. Now there's a big animal scuffle. You didn't cause this. I'd rather have a dog on a plane than a dog at a restaurant. I think dogs in the restaurant should be universally banned. I can't see one reason why it's sanitary or enjoyable for anyone besides you to have your smelly dog in the restaurant. And then some people are going to watch this. My dog doesn't smell. My dog is well behaved. My dog don't bark at nobody. Your dog will. Your dog will when it comes out to dine with me. They're just dogs. They want to run around. They're on a leash. You've leashed them. You love them. What if you took your wife or your husband and you put them on a leash? Would they feel very loved? They feel loved when they can roam free. No species in the animal kingdom feels loved when it has a leash around its head and a choke collar. That's not love. That's oppression. You're forcing it to come with you. You want to love it? Let it be free. Let it be free. Maybe it doesn't want to go to the restaurant with you. Another group of people are the grocery store dog people, which I think is the worst. In New York City, you see people bringing their dogs into Whole Foods like it's a right, like it's somewhere in the Declaration of Independence that there's a decree that animals can come in and shop for green beans and deli meats, and no one says anything. You could have a Saint Bernard walking through Whole Foods in Manhattan, and no one says anything. Full blown dog. And somewhere, some people have like paperwork for this. Oh, I have paperwork. It's my support animal. Well, maybe you and your dog can go back and get some support from maybe a therapist because you need it. No one wants to see your dog. I had to go eat these green beans after your friggin' hippopotamus animal just, rubbed up against it. It's gross. I would never go shopping for pineapples at the zoo. Animals and food don't mix. Animals and wildlife don't mix. You can't put them together. People think they just go to, everyone's going to love my dog. That mentality has to end. I think the mentality should be, everyone's going to hate my dog. That should be the status quo. The status quo for any dog owner should be, when you take your dog out of your home, everyone's going to hate you for it. And if people actually lived by that, the world would be a better place. People would be apologetic. I'm so sorry. I have to bring this dog here for whatever reason. And you would just keep it in a little corner or whatever. If you absolutely had to bring the dog with you, which you don't. You don't see other animals come into the restaurant. What if someone sat down at the table next to you and they had 16 turtles, a whole gaggle of turtles? How would you feel about that? Oh, I had to bring my snake with me to get tortillas. No one does that. What if you had 19 rabbits that you had to bring into the restaurant as you're trying to eat veal parmesan? Would anyone accept that? No. Even if you had cats. Could you imagine seeing a cat, 3 cats on a leash outside or inside of a restaurant, outside, inside, doesn't matter. People are like, what the hell is this guy doing with this cat at the restaurant? Of course you would say that because it's gross and it's weird, but not with dogs. Dogs get off. Dogs are not, it's this mentality that it doesn't matter with a dog because everyone's going to love my dog. Not everyone loves your dog. Let's change the mentality up. Let's change it. And if you're going to do it with dogs, do it with other animals. That's all I'm saying. Be consistent. Really, it upsets me. This taco experience changed my life. And don't forget, I can't even, the pinnacle of all dog owners are the people who bring the dogs with them to the hotel. These people are the worst of the worst. It's like you went to a restaurant 9 times and you're like, no one said anything. Maybe I'll bring my dog with me to the DoubleTree. It's disgusting. The last 10 years, it's been this whole movement of hotels allowing dogs to come into the hotel room. We're pet friendly. Listen, no hotel is truly pet friendly. Anytime they see a dog come in, they're thinking, fuck me, this is going to be horrible. You know why? Because when you travel to a hotel and you bring a dog with you, after you leave, the hotel has to put that room what they call out of service. They can't just use that room like if a human stayed in there. They have to put that room out of service. That means that when you stay there and you pay whatever rate you had, you're actually paying for your rate times an extra 2 or 3 days because the hotel has to deep clean that room and do all this fabric shit. And because what happens if someone comes to the hotel and they're allergic to dogs and they stayed in your room? They're going to sue the hotel. So the hotel loses money when you stay with your dumb animal inside of a room. It's gross. Anytime I go to a hotel and I see a dog in the elevator, I'm like, this fucking place. I can't stand it. It smells weird. They're shitting on the grounds. There's no way that you can get a dog inside of a hotel that doesn't shit on the carpet. It happens all the time. It's gross. And then they need people who bring dogs to the hotel extremely needy. I need dog bowls to room 1403. You didn't travel with dog bowls. You remembered everything else. You didn't bring dog bowls. I need a dog bed. I need treats. I used to work at a hotel. I heard that all the time. I need treats. I've got my dog up here that needs treats. Fuck that dog. No dog needs treats. You didn't travel with treats? You're not a treat traveler? Could you bring some treats for my animal? And dogs are the only types of animals, just like the restaurant, that you see that people are emphatic about bringing. And when they check in, they're so confident. It's like the red carpet's been rolled out. And it's again, everyone's going to love my dog. That's the mentality. They walk in. Oh, look at this. Who wants to pet my dog? Anyone want to pet it? Anyone want to pet my dog? Who wants to pet my dog? Under the chinny chin chin. Oh, the doorman loves my dog. No one loves your dog. I can tell you 100%, if you're watching this and you bring a dog to a hotel, you are a problem. No matter how much people smile at you, no matter how much they want to pet it and love it, they all think you're annoying. Leave the dog at home. No one needs a dog on the road. You're staying in a nice hotel and you're ruining it for other people. Leave the pets at home. Could you imagine if you checked into a hotel and someone had a macaw? Oh, I always bring my macaw with me. Another thing that I've been thinking about, my mom had a lot of sayings when I was a kid. One, if you were to ask me when I was 8 years old, the number one cause of death amongst children my age, I would have said confidently, falling off a chair and cracking their head open. I would say cracking their head open would be the number one cause of death. For how many times my mom said that I was going to fall and crack my head open, it would be justified that there'd be a lot of head cracking deaths in my community. You stand on a chair, you'll fall and you'll crack your head open. You sit on a countertop, you'll fall and crack your head open. To this day, I don't know one death by cracking head open. And the way I visualized it as a kid is a strong visual. You're very much in your head thinking this is going to be a Humpty Dumpty program. You know, you're going to fall off the chair, your head's going to crack open, cancel Christmas. Just brains all over the floor. He cracked his head open. Sayonara. Never saw this injury. You know how I did get my first head injury was I had a hockey stick to the head. Street hockey, right in my head. That's how I cracked my head open. I didn't fall. I got a hockey stick. No warning either. No warning. That falls under the no horsing around. I guess I horsed around. And it's too bad. It's too bad because I got a scar in the middle of my forehead that I was promised was going to be covered by my hairline when I was 9 years old. But now I have male pattern baldness, and that scar is in the middle of my head to be seen by all. You'll crack your head open. We'll have to take you to Winchester. That was something my friend's mom used to say. We'll have to take you to Winchester. Winchester is the name of a town, but also the name of a hospital. So for about 10 years of my life, that was always a threat. We don't want to have to go to Winchester on a Saturday. You want to go to Winchester? No one ever wants to go to Winchester. Winchester Hospital, not a good place to be. Who wants to go to the hospital in general? Especially if you have to go to Winchester. Could you imagine if you went to Winchester, you go to the hospital, and you go in and your doctor just had a dog with him? Would you think that would be profesh? Absolutely not. What happens if your doctor brought a dog in with there? Would you be happy about that? Would you think that's a sanitary environment? If you go into the ER and there's just dogs in there? Oh yeah, I had a life-changing injury, but I brought my dog with me. You'd say, this is gross, unsanitary. I can't heal an environment like this, but you're going to accept it? You're going to accept it out of Chili's? Let's get on the same page, people. No dogs at the hospital. No dogs in restaurants. If you travel with a dog, let's just make it from point A to point B. If you have to travel, like you're moving across the country, bring your dog. But not if you're just going to go stay at a hotel. Get an Airbnb. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in to Mahalo. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification, and thank you for listening. Appreciate it. See you next time for another episode of Mahalo. Deuces.